Today we're gonna make Chapli Kebab, which is a heavily spiced and aromatic beef fat fried kebab from Pakistan. And this is actually gonna be my first time making it ever, and I could not be more excited. So, let's cook. Okay, so one of you recommended this Chapli Kebab to me, and I immediately looked it up and I was like, I have to make this. And then I was gonna do some testing, but I thought it might be more interesting in video form to kind of just show the testing process. And there are a couple very interesting things about this recipe. I've just got kind of a mix of beef, and then it's beef fat fried. Two very interesting spices though are gonna be dried pomegranate seeds, my first time ever using dried pomegranate seeds, and then whole coriander seeds, which are very interesting because they give it some unique texture and kind of crunch rather than using fresh ground. So we're gonna kind of prep this how I'm kind of seeing it based on a couple different videos and recipes I've seen. But if you don't have the exact ingredients, I wouldn't worry too much. There's a lot of takeaways from this video that are gonna be really, really important, and it's gonna make something really, really delicious. Okay. So first up, we got to do our spice mix. And then I am going to roughly weigh these out a little bit, just so you guys can have some kind of, like rough guideline to follow. So I'm going to do 500 grams of beef, and then I'm going to need to crush up we'll call it 10 grams of pomegranate seeds and a good lot of coriander seeds, they're pretty heavy. So I'm gonna do 8 grams of those. So you can see we've got these nice mix of spices in there. Now, I actually gave these a taste earlier, and I think they're honestly really nice snack, dried pomegranate seeds. But if you don't have dried pomegranate seeds or don't want to make a special trip for them, I think sumac would work as a good substitute. It kind of gives it that tangy little brightness that sumac also gives. But the dried pomegranate seeds are definitely unique in kind of their structure, and we're going to get a little bit of extra crunch from them rather than like a pure ground up sumac. Man, that smells so good. The coriander mixed with that tartness from the kind of going everywhere. And actually, I'm really looking for that coarser texture. That was one of the keys that I kind of saw when I was looking at videos, is there is kind of a more coarser texture to the coriander seeds in there. And then for the other spices, I think there's a bunch of different ways that this can be made. We're gonna do a little cumin powder, a little Kashmiri chili pepper, not much, this is pretty spicy. So I'm gonna do just a gram of the chili powder. This is some garam masala. I'll call it 2 grams of garam masala. And then we'll do 2 grams of ground cumin, and I think that's all I need for my spices. Yeah, and then let me give you guys a little close-up look at this. So you can see all those different, and man, this already smells so good. I can feel it kind of tingling on my nose tip. And then the second thing, okay, so this is kind of our core spice mix, but the second thing that's interesting is that it's a mix of some fresh ingredients too. So some fresh aromatic ingredients, I should say. So got some cilantro, and then I need some onion, I realized I didn't have garlic today. I think garlic is also a very common addition, but I don't have any. And then I think ginger also would be a pretty common addition. Today we're just gonna rock with some diced onion and some coriander or cilantro. Coriander are the seeds from cilantro plants, if you didn't know. That's sometimes why in other countries, typically in the US, you'll see cilantro refers to like the green leafy thing that I'm cutting here. If you are in other parts of the world, sometimes you'll see this called coriander because the coriander are the seeds of cilantro, in case you didn't know. I actually didn't know that for a while, and then one day I was like, wait, why do they call this the same thing? Okay, and then I'm gonna do roughly half of an onion here. You could go heavy onion if you want heavy aromatics, kind of just depends. I think I saw some videos where they'll use tomatoes too. So I think there really are, a lot of different ways and different aromatics that you could kind of add to this kebab. But this is kind of what I'm gonna be rocking with today. Okay. Now we can actually assemble everything here. So get out this bowl. And this is some 80-20 ground beef, and then I'm just gonna mix it with some other ground beef. I didn't specifically get, so it's 300 grams, and then I'm probably gonna mix in another 200 grams here. Kind of squeeze this out. And this is like super lean ground beef. We're also gonna fry it in beef tallow, so we're gonna have plenty of fat in there. That's 800, I'll call that good. I'll toss this back in here. Put that away. And then, where's my salt? Then as always, kind of gonna shoot for about 1% salt here. So I'm gonna add like 4 grams. Should be a good baseline, 1 to 1.5%. 5 grams, we'll call it. Then that's why it's just easy to use the scale. We don't need to worry about any of this stuff. So coming in with all of our big spice mix. Coming in with our aromatics. Then, another key that I was seeing in recipes is typically they'll add a little bit of a binder, like some corn flour or some kind of other graham flour, which I think might be chickpea flour. I'm gonna try out some buckwheat because it's what I had in the pantry. But the idea here is this will help it get a little bit crispy when we come to fry these here. Just gives it a little bit extra starch. And that is another key, I think, of this dish. When you see the videos and the pictures, it kind of is a little bit crispier than maybe you would see from just standard grilled meat. And I think part of that is because of just adding that little bit of flour in there, which gives it a little bit of starch, which will crisp up when we go ahead and sear these things up. I was also watching one Mark Wien's video where they put these massive hunks of beef tallow in the filling, so very, very fatty. I'm gonna go for a slightly refined version of that with a mix of 80-20 and about a little bit of 93-7 ground beef. Nice. So we got that. I'm going to start heating this guy up. Actually, let me wash my hand real quick. All right, so another, again, I think very key in like the videos and recipes that I was watching, feels like you have to use beef tallow to kind of replicate what they are using. So I'm gonna do a little shallow fry. You can like buy this stuff on Amazon. It's pretty easy to find, but if not, obviously, regular oil will work. Just like beef fat and animal fats do have a little bit of a different aroma to them. So for this first time, you know, I wanna, it felt like something core that we needed to do, but if you're recreating this at home, you know, feel free to just use regular neutral oil or whatever you happen to have. Okay. And then while that heats up, you know, kind of in the couple videos that I was watching, it always seems to just be kind of served with like pita and a little bit of, you know, fresh cucumber or something along those lines. So that's kind of what I'm gonna go for. I think this could be used to make, I mean, a bunch of, I mean, you could make some amazing wraps or a variety of different things with this kebab. And I think it would be a great make-ahead prep item as well. But for me, I'm just gonna, we'll just do some thinly sliced cucumbers. Also gonna do a couple of lime wedges to spritz over. Again, very, you know, we're frying it in beef fat. It is, you know, higher beef fat, so we kind of want some nice, you know, acid to kind of help cut through the fattiness a little bit. So we've got our lemons. And you should be like, if you are cooking with beef fat, you should be able to kind of smell that. And then what else do I need? We'll do a little bit of, oh, I'm gonna do some pickled onion. We'll kind of make our own little serving tray for this. That should be about up to temp. This is kind of gonna be our little serving tray. Make a little platter, and then I'll get those pickled onions later. All right, it is time. Let me get a little paper towel plate. That we can put these on after they're done. So form factor for these, a little bit kind of just like thin patties. I don't know, this is like one of the things that I kind of wanted to test out, like for a home cook. I saw some people do like really big patties. I'm gonna do something like this to start, and then we can adjust from there. I think I could fit another one in there. Definitely a dish you probably want to turn some fans on or make sure you've got, you know, an open space to cook. Like, you're gonna have some beef fat aromas flying around your kitchen. Getting a little flip. Oh my gosh, look at those. Holy smokes, these look amazing. So you can really see like the super dark brown you get on the crust. And I think part of that is really just adding that little bit of flour in there that we're able to get that crispier Maillard reaction really on the outside. These look stunning. I can't wait. Oh, then like I said, typically served with some pita bread. So I'm gonna warm up a couple while those are frying. I'm just gonna toss them back here. Kind of toss them back on the back burner. Man, these look so good. All right, I'm gonna go a little bit thinner, I think, on this next batch. I kind of like how that one almost has like some holes and craggles in it. And yeah, I think this would be a great too, kind of family style meal too. That, I mean, comes together pretty quickly. You know, you could maybe make a little side salad, some kind of yogurt or something, some kind of sauce. I think would be. I mean, probably would be good with hummus. I know maybe not normal for Pakistan, but kind of gives me some vibes of like yeah, like a Middle Eastern kebab too, or like a Mediterranean Greek something. And also, thank you to whoever recommended to do this. And I would say, many of you, like, if you guys ever want me to look into recipes, I am happy to do it. I'm always looking for new spices, new aromatics, new ways to use very common ingredients. You know, this isn't anything crazy. It's really just a couple of new ingredients, dried pomegranate seeds, which is a first for me, using whole coriander seeds, frying stuff in beef tallow. So I'm always down to explore recipes. Like incredible. Oh shoot, yeah. Are these on fire? Yep. I actually just smelled, I was like, man, is that already smoking? Yeah, we're on fire, boys. Oh. Not that one. This one is toast. Too many things going on at once. That's how things happen in the kitchen. Maybe we'll just microwave. We'll microwave our pitas. I don't think I've ever actually heated up pitas on the stove flame like that anyway. Maybe that's why, because, you know, quick to flame up there. All right, I think we're pretty much there. I mean, yeah, so hopefully you guys can really see very unique, like dark brown texture that you get on the ground beef. Tons of Maillard reaction in there. I think partly from the beef itself, the higher beef fat, but then also from adding those little seeds in there. And man, I can't wait to actually take a bite of these. Okay. One of the other tips too, if you are frying up and like you get splatters, is to really take it, you know, be diligent about it and kind of wipe away the splatters as they're happening, just because that's kind of what is going to make your whole house or apartment smell, is if the oil kind of splatters and then sits on surfaces. So whenever I am, you know, frying stuff up, I'm always trying to be cognizant and just, you know, wiping down my surfaces, and then you can just wash this towel, you know, in the wash, obviously, and you know that's how you kind of keep your apartment or home smelling a little bit fresher sooner. It's still going to smell like fried stuff in here, but not as you know, not as noticeable. That maybe lingers for a couple days. Okay, so got our warmed up pita. So we got our pitas. We've got kind of a little platter, a little mix of fresh ingredients, some sour ingredients. Do a big scoop of these. So we got some cucumber, pickled onion, lemon, a little bit of pita. These crispy, and I can't wait to bite into these. So we're gonna quickly take a little couple photos, try to figure out the thumbnail, but man, I can't wait to sink my teeth into these. All videos I saw, everyone ate them with their hands, so that's exactly what I'm gonna go with as well. And you gotta just try it plain first. Man, I love the coriander in there. Such a slept-on spice. The beef fattiness is amazing. The amazing browning in there. And then, yeah, I really love that coriander, that kind of top floral note you get. You definitely get some tang in there, which I'm assuming is coming from that those pomegranate seeds in there. Show a little. Do a little pickled onion bite. I don't know much to say just because like I'm enjoying it so much. They're on to something with these. Such a unique flavor profile. Just fresh but fatty and juicy. And yeah, I could totally see how you could eat these every single night. So I definitely am making these again very, very soon. So if you guys want to follow the recipe, we'll link a version down below. But as always, feel free to experiment and really think about kind of the core components of this dish, because I think there are a lot of cool takeaways from something like this with the browning and the texture. But man, this is a phenomenal first try. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace, y'all.